Hello everyone, this is Bibi Cameron here, and today I'm going to be using the Spellbinders large die of the month to create pop-up cards. So here are my cards, and what is fun about these cards is that the pop-up element float over the page and is parallel to the page. This is a super duper easy project, and there are different ways to achieve the same results. I'm going to show you some of them so you can decide what you prefer. I spent some time trying to figure out the size and a mechanism that hold weight. Just because when we are die cutting, we need to glue or adhere several die cuts in one single composition, and that could end up being a little bit heavy. So we need to make sure that the paper structure we are going to build is going to hold all those die cuts and is going to last. So this is the die set, and it's a 9 pieces die set called Basket Full of Bunnies. It's designed to create a 3D basket, and you can put the bunnies inside and also put some eggs or candies or any treat. But today I'm going to use it in a completely different way. So I also find that the basket look a lot nicer if you emboss the paper after die cutting. The bunnies in the die set have a slit under the arms, so that you can fit them perfectly in the basket, or you can fit anything else under the arms. To release the die cuts from the dies, all you have to do is to throw the dies over the platform, and you will see there how easy it is to do that. So I die cut a bunch of paper in different colors just to have all what I need, and I also take advantage of the die cutting to create other projects as I go. So here I have all the die cuts I'm going to be using for the cards today. I'm not going to show you all the die cutting and all the assembling because I think it's not necessary. It's super duper easy, and with some of them you will create a topper like this one. Okay, for the mechanism we are going to need a piece of paper that measures 1 inch by 4.5. So you see there, that topper fits just there with a little bit of space to the sides. I'm going to score the paper at 1/2 inch, at 2 inches, at 2.5, and at 4 inches. And I'm going to trim this piece of paper about 1/4 inch. I'm going to grab the larger or wider piece of paper, I'm going to fold it and glue it like so. So this is looking like a band or a small box. And after I do this, I'm going to bring a card base that measures 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and I'm going to decorate it just adding some grass. And this is the way I'm doing it here, but of course you can do it differently, just to show you how this works. And I'm going to glue that piece of paper about 1 centimeter, 1/2 inch from that scoring line. The only thing we need to make sure there is that it's straight, and then this is what you are going to get. Okay, so now I need something to pull this tab towards that side. Then is when I'm going to use this other piece here. I'm going to add glue on one of the ends, and I'm going to align it with that scoring line at the top of that piece there. And once you have that done, you can leave this piece as it is, or you can cut it here over this scoring line here. All you have to do is to make sure that you have a flap there that you can adhere to the other panel. Then I'm going to bend it, fold it, and all is aligned with the base of the mechanism. And then I add glue there, close the card, and then when I open it, the mechanism is in place and ready to go. So this mechanism looks like a bed or a seat in which you can just adhere your images. But because it's in the left of your card, you also need to adhere the images on the left of your card. So now I'm going to grab the die cuts I have done, and I'm going to make sure that they sit on that mechanism and in the left, as you see there. This is not going totally over the mechanism, it's going towards the left. But when you open the card, they might look just over the center. And another thing is that, for example, I have a spiky die cut there, I just trim it to avoid that from stopping my mechanism. And there you go. That's super easy to do. Once you get it, you get it. I'm not crazy about this mechanism because it looks pretty basic. So I'm going to show you how to do another one that looks more professional and confuse people, because when you see it, you might not be able to know exactly what has been done there. I think that's cool because you can keep the secret. So I'm going to finish this card here using products from the Spellbinders craft kit of the month as well, the paper, the stamps, and I also like to add details using Nuvo crystal glaze on the nose of the bunnies, on the flowers, and I use all the little die cuts also to complete that scene. And I also use one of the sentiments from the Spellbinders Hot Foil Kit of the Month to add the sentiment on the basket. I embellish using tiny butterflies, and that's my card. And I'm totally loving the Spellbinders Last Die of the Month because it's so easy to use and those bunnies are so cute, the basket, the little flowers, I really love it. So there you go. I'm going to show you a second way to create these mechanisms. So it's this one here, and if you see there, it looks a lot more complex, but it's the same thing. And to make this, I'm going to need a piece of paper that measures 3/4 of an inch by 4.5 inches. And I'm going to score 1/2 inch both sides. Those are going to be the flaps of the mechanism. I'm going to grab a ruler and I'm going to trace lines at 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and 3 inches. Then I'm going to create parallel lines like so, just to create the pull-up tab all in one go. We are not creating two pieces here, but we have just one single piece. Okay, focus here. I'm going to use an eraser to erase those lines in the area I'm not going to touch or cut at all. And then you will see the lines on that piece as you see them there. And I'm going to grab the craft knife to cut across those lines a line or that leg for the mechanism as you see there. But I'm going to stop right in the last or very last scoring line across the paper, and that's the flap. I hope you can understand what I'm saying here. It's so hard for me to explain, but it's so easy to do. Once we cut until that point, we can erase the pencil lines because we don't want those pencil lines there. And once you know how to do this, you won't need to do the pencil lines. I'm just doing this to show you. And you can do this mechanism larger or shorter or wider if you need it to. Here, I'm going to cut the leg out of there. And to do that, I'm just using my SNIPS and I'm trimming this like so. Then you just fold that flap, or this is the leg of the mechanism, and I'm going to score at 2 inches and at 2.5 inches. And I'm cutting that leg before scoring the paper, because if I score the paper and then I cut the leg will have the scoring lines, right? And we want that leg to be straight and nice and smooth, as you see there. When you fold the leg backwards to score the paper, you create a scoring line at the base, and then all you have to do is to put the leg in the right direction, which is this one here. So you can have a better look at this there. You see that? This is the way the mechanism have to be managed from now and onwards. So all I have to do here is to adhere the base of the mechanism. I'm using liquid glue, and then I'm going to glue it on a card base. I have to glue this about 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter from the scoring line. Then I'm going to make sure that my mechanism is working and is sturdy. I'm going to flatten the mechanism. I'm going to fold the leg so the base of the leg is going to be aligned with the base of the mechanism, as you see there. And the top of the leg is totally folded already, so it makes that H shape at the top. So if you have that right, you will get this right in one go. I'm going to place a piece of paper here just because I don't want the glue to go over the mechanism and stick everything that I don't want to stick on place. And there you go, that's the mechanism. This is a little bit different than the previous mechanism I showed you, just because it looks a lot more complex, a lot more professional, a lot more what you did there. And you can create this mechanism to be taller or shorter or wider if you wanted to for this image, this is the size. And I'm also gluing it at the bottom of the page to make sure that the image is going to fit there. I have an idea here for you, and it's to use a glue dot over the mechanism to temporarily adhere your die cuts or your image over that mechanism. And this will allow you to find the right placement before adhere this permanently on your project. So this is what I'm doing there, just to show you exactly how this looks, and then you can be completely sure that you got this right. Okay, so here I'm going to put together this card. I'm making sure that I'm gluing this piece in the right place. I already decorate the front of the card, and I'm going to be using more elements to finish this card. And I could not resist to use the Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the Month. That is this one here, and I just die cut these eggs using the dies, and I just decorate the card using those eggs. I also use some sequins, and as you see there, this mechanism is sturdy as it could be. So these are the two cards I wanted to share with you using the beautiful supplies from Spellbinders included in the large die of the month, and also some other goodies that you might get on the Spellbinders shop. Another thing is that I wanted to share two different kinds of mechanisms, one very basic and one a little bit more complex. But then I have something super duper easy for you to do. Grab a piece of paper, cut it any width and any length. All you have to do is to create flaps to adhere this to your page. So in this case, I'm going to create a flap that measures ½ inch. I'm going to score the paper also in half, and then I got the flaps here and also the paper scored in half. So I get this triangular shape. All I have to do here is to cut this piece in any part of the piece, could be the half, could be, to create the leg of the mechanism. And then I'm going to glue this on a card base. It could be any size of card base. It doesn't have to be this size, okay, depending what you have. And to glue this in place, all you have to do is to align this piece with the scoring line in the center of your card base. Close the page, and then you have your pop-up there. And you can adhere elements on that pop-up already, but they will be like spiky, like they will be stand up on the page, okay? But we want to create a floating plane again. So we are going to use this other part here. We are going to glue it, align it with the top of the pop-up. We are going to fold it, okay? Adding glue to the very end or the flap of that piece, and keep that piece folded just in place like so. And then we close the card or the page or whatever you are creating there. And then you have the bed or your seat to glue your image over. Although I don't fancy this mechanism that much, it's not beautiful, it's not handsome, whatever gender is this. I prefer these slimmer mechanisms for card making, but I have to acknowledge that this mechanism here is strong. You can make it in any size, for any size of image, and you can make it for any size of card, any size of page. So it's super easy. You don't need to think too much. I will show you here. This is a 6x6 card, and the mechanism measures about 2 inches tall. And this one here is just 1 inch tall, okay? It's smaller. You might not be able to see it there, but it's the half in size. And if you glue the same image over, this is going to work just fine. So there you go, 3 ways to do this. Some ideas to apply this on cards or any other paper craft project. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel or visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. And please share this video on your Facebook, on your Pinterest. Tell your friends that you have a crafty friend that is doing amazing paper craft projects, and she's sharing on YouTube, and that's Bibi Cameron. Thank you very much for watching, and happy crafting. Bye!